Alright, welcome back to the channel, and we are doing something completely different this week, and we are taking a look at Derail Valley Simulator. I really like the graphics in this one. You do a lot of hands-on stuff. You have to do a lot of thinking in order to plan where they go, in what order, so you don't get your train, your locomotive trapped and everything. So I'm just going to show you real fast. This game was built for VR. I do not have a headset, so I'm just going to be playing with keyboard and mouse. For those of you who are on the fence about whether or not you should get this game or how to use keyboard and mouse, I'll kind of walk you through it as we go. So here in the office, we have different jobs. Logistical hauls are basically hauling empty trailers from different spots on the map. And currently we're up at the top where it says FF. I believe that is, what is that? That's, yeah, the food factory in town. So we could haul empty freight or no freight, just the cars, because they need to get from one place to the other, so they can be loaded. We can actually do a freight haul, which is labeled in green here, and the freight haul is, as it says, you're going to be hauling freight, not just empty cars. And then there's also something, these are labeled in this red color, shunting. And shunting is basically, by the way, if you want to pick that up, you're just using keyboard and mouse, pick it up, it says left mouse button, and to drop it back on the table, you hit the letter V. Drops it right back down. But shunting is essentially just work in the yard. So that might mean I have two cars on one rail, I've got two on another, I have to go hook up to the two, drive over, get the other two so that they're all four lined up, and then maybe load them or unload them, or just take something that's loaded and prepare it for the correct track. So as we're actually out here right now, let me see, we have charts of the entire thing. We're actually standing out on line C, which is toward the bottom. And so if I go into C to see all of the tracks, starting with the farthest left and right, 1S and 9S, those are storage. S denotes storage. O, so that's not a 20 or a 30 or a 50, it's 2O. And the O is notates outbound. The 4I is not 41. 4I, 4 is inbound. So that's where you would most likely be coming. And then there are a couple of other ones that are on the map that denote like parking and stuff like that. Like if you see in the middle of this chart, 3P, 2P, those are parking. And then top right, 1S, it's just another storage thing. But essentially we have three different groups of tracks. We've got B, C, and D for our main, that's how we're going to be lining everything up. So what a lot of people like to do is, because we're just going to be doing shunting, just kind of cruising around. 342 tons though. Ooh, that's tough. Do we have another shunting job? Yes, we do. It was buried under there. 630 tons. That's even worse. I'm going to have to use a much bigger train for that. I wanted to use a smaller train. Here's another job. It's buried in there. 135 tons. Why don't we go ahead and do this? All right, so we have to load and prepare a train for canned food and departure. And in the top right, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to look for the train so I have a pretty good idea where it is. And we are looking for SL08 on the top right of this page. So I'm just going to hit tab and it's going to just kind of keep it on me. SL08 is what I have to look for. I can pull it up using any of the buttons along the top, 1 through 0, and you also have minus and plus along the top of the keyboard. And I think it's kept on the minus button, yeah. So we are looking for 3 cars, SL08. We have to load them so they're empty. It doesn't mean that they... Let me see, SL08. Nope, not these. Could it be this? It says right here in the lower right-hand corner what it is. This is FH22. So that's not going to help us. What are we looking for? SL08? Might not even be on C. Maybe it's this. Nope, it's not over here, so we're going to have to jump over to... Let's jump over to track D, which is toward the top. Nope. Okay, I cannot find these cars. Maybe they're over here on the storage track. SL08, there they are. And I was looking for how many? I was looking for, you can see the picture that shows 3 cars right above the words Food Factory in town. It shows 3, well, it shows more than that, actually. So, what are our numbers on the cars? That we don't know until we officially accept the job. We haven't officially accepted it, but we have SL08. There's 1 car there. By the way, I'm skipping ahead by just hitting F. SL08 and SL08. So here's a good example of why you have to plan. These are the 3 cars that I need. This, you can tell, is a different job. It's LH32. So the only way into here, because this is storage, is I have to come in here. But I'm going to have to take what looks like these 2 cars, and I'm going to have to move them out and put them somewhere else temporarily, preferably on another storage track, because it doesn't like it when you just move things around and put it on an inbound or an outbound track. That will screw things up. So I'm going to have to come in here. Let's see. These are attached right now, and I'm going to go ahead and detach them. Before I detach them, I'm going to make sure that the cars on both sides are locked, and I'm just using the mouse wheel for this. Now that these are both locked, those 2 won't go anywhere, and those 3 that are linked up won't be going anywhere. Actually, I screwed that up. That's the last one that I want. So this is the one where I have to detach it. But, so these 3 cars that I need are locked. They're not going to roll away. And those which are linked, I've already did that one. So let's go ahead and undo these. We have to undo both of those. This is the air that runs the brakes from car to car. And then I have to undo that and then physically move that. So now these are both disconnected. So when I go and hook up on the far end, it's only going to pull this last one. These 3 that I need are going to stay where they are. And that way I can just move these to another storage line. And most likely, because I'm close to D, is there a storage? So I'll take it either to 3S or 4S. And this is actually the appropriate way that I'm looking right now. I am looking to the southwest right now. So it'll be on the far right tracks, 3S or 4S. Let me make sure that nothing is there. So there's already something on 4S and there's nothing there for 3S. So I'm not going to pin it in. I'm going to go ahead and put it on D3S. So now let's go get this started. Notice how I'm doing all of this without even taking the job. The reason why is as soon as you start the job, the clock starts, and if you get it done fast, you actually get bonus money. It's like 50% more money for the job than it advertises at first. So, bunch of different cars here. I'm rated on all of these, but I like to take this small one for just doing shunting work around the yard, unless it's like 500 or 600 tons. This thing is rated, I believe, up to 400 tons of cargo. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here. It's the easiest to manage, and it's also the most cost-effective because it's the smallest engine. So go ahead and get this door closed. I'm going to turn all these on. Got my starter, the electrics, and so let's go ahead and turn on those lights there. And to start it, I'm using the mouse wheel, and I'm going to continuously just roll up on the mouse wheel. If you just do it once, it'll just kind of initiate, and then it will not continue with the rest of the start. So we need to go this way. We're going to actually go out here. How are we going to do this? I need to get over there on that side, closer to D. So we're going to go all the way out here, and then end up going back around there to D. So, the parking brake is off. This is our train brake, our locomotive brake. What does it say? It's, yeah, train brake. This is what you want to use when you're just using the locomotive without any cars attached. This is your independent, no, sorry, that's the independent brake is what you want to use if you're just running the locomotive. Your train brake is what you want to use to get the air all the way down. That's why we hook the air lines up between the different cars. So we're going to be using this one since we're only on the locomotive. This is called the reverser. If I push it this way, I'm going to be going backwards from my orientation now. This is neutral. We want to go that way because we can't go any further here. So let's go forward. Let's get some lights on. I'm going forward, so lights forward. I'm going to click it 2 notches, and lights reverse 1. And what that's going to do, as I hop out here, it's going to put a red light on there, which tells you which direction it's actually moving. If you see that red light, it's not moving toward you. Okay, so it is raining a little bit, but we're not going to worry about the wipers right now. Let's go forward. We've already initiated that, and here is the power. And I'm actually going to use the mouse, let's see. Yeah, I'll just use the mouse wheel, and I'm going to roll it back, because this is how you give it power. You move it backwards. And it takes a little bit of getting used to, but you know, I'm going to try to keep it, I try to keep it under 30 kilometers per hour in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now. Mouse wheel up. I need to get over to there. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and stop the train. I need to change this one right here. Probably juice that a little bit more. So from my inventory, my quick button, I have it assigned as 1, and it's assigned to switch. There are different, if you look at the little walkie-talkie thing, there are different things that you can use here. This is if you derail, so you can re-rail the train. I'm going to go ahead and put it on switch. Right mouse button zooms in. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to press the left mouse button, and I switch over, so I'm going to head over to there. And I'm already kind of looking ahead. I know, based on, I already know this yard, so I'm going to switch that to the left. And basically what I've done there, if we look, is coming from the southwest, bottom left-hand side, I've switched it to the left, so I'm going to go up on the left side, and I've switched it again to the left, so I stay on the outside and I don't go toward that circle. We're going to keep going left, so I stay out of the repair area with that little wrench, and then we'll continue up to D. Alright, so independent brake is off. We're going the other way now, and watch the lights. The lights actually switch themselves. So now I've got headlight on this side and a red light on that side. And we'll go ahead and add some power. Just going to make sure we've got, so we're going left, left, and left. Left 3 times. We're already going left again here, so that's good. Yep, we are going to be, yep, we're going to be clear. We'll go ahead and cut the power. And I wanted to go in, I think it was 3S on D. So go to page D. 3S coming from the southwest, we need to go left, left, and right. Oh, we missed it. Because we're going too fast. So take your time, guys, and plan. I'm trying to do this a little bit more on the fly because I don't want this to be such a long video for you, but I screwed up. So, brake is off, and we should be rolling now. Let's get the power off. We don't have to go too far back. So if we look at this again, coming from the southwest, if I want to get to 3S, I have to go to the left, and then to the left. I'm just looking at all those red dots. And then I need to go to the right. So left, left, and right. So, yeah, that one's going to be set for right. This one needs to be set for left. I think that's about it, yeah. Let's go ahead and stop that. So you can tell on the track, this is going to take me, because it's pointing to the left, it's going to take me over to here. And then this one to the right says I'm going to go right in there, which is where it says 3S. Okay, brake off. Add a little bit of power. So this is actually where we're going to put those 2 extra cars. I could have actually gone straight through here if I wanted to, but this is where we are going to put them, and I wanted to demonstrate how we kind of interact with the map to get where we're going. I also like this small train. This is the what is this? This is the DE2. Okay, we need to get over to the. Let's see. We need to get over to 1S. We're going right on D right now. If you look at the page, it's going to the right, and we need to get where 1S is. So we need to come all the way down, and that's where we're going to meet up with them. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of brake right now. We're already power off right now. And we just need to get to this switch over here. I think we're going to make it in time. Let's let off the brake a little bit, so we can still kind of cruise, but yeah, we got to get those 3, and we'll put them over there on D3S. By the way, I learned pretty much everything that I learned from a YouTube channel called Squirrel. He's really great at tutorials, and yeah, thanks to Squirrel, he's pretty much the reason why I got into this game. I'm going to get off the power pretty early because I don't want to ram into these. The key is going slow. You just got to take it slow. And using Q or E, you can kind of tilt. See, we're going pretty fast, so I'm going to apply a little bit of the independent brake. And you just got to gauge it a little bit. I'll come off. Come on just a little bit more. And hit it a little bit harder than I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and get the parking brake on the Locomotive off. That way I can release that. And I always like to try to make good habits. I put it in neutral. Of course, if you put it in neutral, your lights go away. So you're not going to be able to make use of those, especially when it's dark. But I'll keep it in neutral. Let's go ahead and open this. So we got to couple it. And it's a little bit hard when it's evening. So, oh, there are my lights. There we go. What I'm going to try to do, where do I have it saved? Okay, I have it saved as 0. And to place this object, because it's a lot different when you're just using a keyboard and mouse, I'm going to go ahead and press R and move my mouse around, and when it lights up blue, you're good. When it's red, you can't put it, and then let go of R, and then that'll provide a little bit of light. So let's go ahead and couple these. And we got to tighten that. Where is it? I'm crouching using Control, and then where is it? There we go. This is the airline. Connect the 2, and then I have to use my flashlight. That's what I need to turn, and that's what I need to turn. So what I like to do is I like to get where that white dot is. That's about where it is. Put the flashlight away, click it, bring the flashlight back. It's about right there. I'm going to turn the flashlight off, take it away, and we're all good. So we should be all connected to these cars. Now remember, halfway through I decoupled them because I'm only taking the ones that I don't need. And I'm giving it a few minutes, by the way. You hear that sound? It's the air coming in from the compressor in the Locomotive, and it's going to each train, and as long as each car is connected, which it is right there, then the air can run from car to car, and that is used as our primary braking. So we're all good here. How many cars do we have? I like to do it in reverse. So I am speed walking with shift. So SL08 is what I need for the job. Remember, SL08. That's another thing too. If you don't have direct light on the paper, it actually shows it as black. So if I come into the light where there's this light, you can see what's going on. So SL08 is what we need. Okay, that one is staying here for now. That one is staying here for now. That one is going. So I'm going to double check that these are in fact disconnected, and they are. And then I'm going to make sure that anything that... So I'm going to take the flashlight away so I can interact and unlock that. I'll move to the next one and make sure that's also the case. Connected, yes. Kind of going through my checks here. So all three of those were locked, which means they wouldn't be able to move. So, pretty good here. I'm going to go ahead and left click on the flashlight. The flashlight will die, by the way. And hit F to enter again. So now we're going backwards. We're headed out this way. We got to take it to D3S. So we got to come in. It's right and a left. Starting from the bottom. We're coming from the northeast. Okay. Train brake off. Independent brake off. Parking brake off. Reverse is selected. We double check we have lights, and we'll add some power. And check that we are moving. And some of those cars are still there. Those are the ones we're going to need for the job. But we have to get through here first. I'll hit my 1 key to get my switch. Left mouse click, we're going to the right now. And actually what I'm going to do, every time I get out of the train, I put the parking brake on. So I'm actually going to kind of run up here for a second. So if I look at my map, so what did I say? We need to do a right, and a left. So I'm going to make sure those things are actually pre-programmed. You can do this with a remote too. I highly advise it. But I'm just showing you. Yeah, so we want to go right in there to D3S. So this one is pointed to the left. We are good. So we can just run it straight in. Okay, parking brake off. We're going forward now. Oh, did I just put it in neutral? Nope, I didn't take the train brake off. My fault. And that will actually do damage to your train. You pay in fees for diesel, you pay for any repairs. It's a little bit loud. Get that closed. And I close and open that door with the mouse wheel. So I've already pre-selected all my switches, but yes, you can damage the engine. Obviously, as the name is, you can derail it if you're going too fast. Let's get off the power. So again, I'm putting these cars that I don't need, I'm putting them on anything denoted with an S because it's storage. Get some train brake on, and I just have to get it past this point, past where that sign is. If it's hanging out past that sign, the game doesn't like it at all. Okay. So I'm going to put the parking brake on because I'm going to get out of the train. Let's get rid of that brake, and we'll put it in neutral. Come out the door. And by the way, you don't have to just come out the door. You can pretty much point anywhere and hit F and it'll eject you. So before I detach these, because I don't need these, I'm setting the parking brake. It just has to be on one car because they're all attached, so they don't roll away. Oh, I left my light. Well, we'll use it for this anyway. Get that air brake disconnected. Okay, and I'm actually going to take this with me. So so I don't forget it. By the way, if you leave it somewhere, it turns up in a lost and found, which is in some yards. You just have to look on the map to see where that is. So this is all good. Now I can go back to where we just came from so I can get the cars that I really need. Close this. Parking brake is off. I love how you interact with everything. It's really cool. We're going in reverse. Train brake, independent brake off. We have lights on the back. It's kind of my checklist. And let's get some power in it. So we're just going right back over there. Those are the ones that I really needed. They were just buried. And again, I'm doing this still having not accepted the job. But I know based on the number of cars and based on the job, SLO8 and 3 cars, I know where to go, and I can save some time making sure that I get that bonus time. And our switch is coming up right up there. And I don't have to wait. I've got no cars on me, so I just have to make sure that I get past it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm off the power. Independent brake, because I'm just a locomotive right now. That should take me right past the switch where I go to the left. So if we look at the map, on the main map, on the right hand side, 1S, so I just came out of D. Now I have to go left into 1S. Alright, so grab my switcher. We're good there. Independent brake is out. Moving forward, add some power. And we're not going very far. We get up to speed pretty fast, so I'm going to already lose the power right now and just coast in. See if I can actually come up to these cars a little bit slower this time. So I don't know exactly where we're taking this. I do know on the job description we are going to load them. We're most likely going to go to D. Let's get some braking. Most likely, but I'm not sure. All I've done at this point... Oh, too much brake. All I've done at this point is pretty much identify what cars I need. So I'm actually moving those cars that had buried these, and I'm doing it all essentially off the clock so that I can get the job done quicker and ensure that I get bonus time. We're going pretty slow. I don't even know if I'm going to need to slow down. Maybe 1 notch. Maybe 2 notches. There we go. That's what it's meant to do. Parking brake, because we're going to get out and attach and lose that independent brake. Put it in neutral. So now I need to attach this again. I'm going to go ahead and use that lantern, even though the headlights are actually more of a distraction than anything. Hold R and let go to place. Let's go ahead and couple. There we go. Tighten it up. Sometimes it's a little hard to see at night. Practice it during the day, and then you know where things are. Need to get my flashlight out for this one. What's up there? So now we are attached, and you hear the air going through the cars. It takes a minute, and actually inside right here, where it's currently flashing, it'll flash if the brake pipe isn't complete, if the air isn't all the way there. It also flashes if I have this brake on, which is fine because we're not going anywhere yet, and I do want to check to make sure all these cars are good to go. So flashlight is what we need. I'm going to make sure, put the flashlight down, make sure this is unlocked, and it is. And we are attached. I'm going to do the same thing with the other cars. Unlocked. I don't need the flashlight because I've got the light here. And we are fully attached. And this one should be locked. That's the one we locked earlier. I'm just going to hop right in. Let's close the door. Parking brake off. Actually, parking brake on. We don't have the job. We don't know where we're going. We have no idea. So I'm just going to kind of bolt out of here. I'm going to go back to the office. The station office. I'm going to select this that was on the table, and I'm going to put it in here. And it's going to spit out the official job. So it didn't tell me that I had to move those other cars, that I buried these 3 that I need. I just did that ahead of time. So A1S, which is where we were on the upper right. And now we have to couple, which we've done, and we need to take them to D1L so that we can load them. All right. Practice this during the day and you'll get more familiar with the yards. It can be a little confusing at first. So we are going back to D, which is where, it's right up there. That's where we just dropped those other ones. But instead of dropping it off at D3S, we're going to be going to D1L because that's where all the loading is. That's what the L stands for. It's just, there's a lot going on. It's a combination of the interaction with everything on the train and all the planning that you need to do. It's just really cool. So let's go ahead and get out of the power. We're waiting for this switch again so we can go back to the right. Now it's pointed to the left. Get some train brake in there. Wait for those cars to pass fully by the switch. I actually timed that pretty good this time. Okay. Get out the switch. Switch it to the right. Full brake. Good. We're going forward. Brake is off. Add power. And I'm actually going to get out of the power. Now, if you look at the map, we're coming from the northeast, so bottom of the map. We only have to do one switch. We just have to make sure that that first one is switched to the left. That's how we get to D1L. So while the train is moving, I'm actually going to come up here and find that. Here's the first one. I'll switch. That makes sense. It's going to take us right into there, which is labeled D1. So now I can kind of head back to my train, hop in, and I didn't actually waste any time here. Let's add a little bit more power to speed up. And I just have to make sure that this car, this first car next to me, next to the locomotive, is past the line that says D1L. In order for it to register. It's especially important when you're loading and unloading, because if it's not past the threshold, it doesn't detect it and it doesn't load anything. So there's the sign for D1L. Let's go ahead and start applying the brake. We're going to have plenty of time to get that right past the threshold. Perfect. Perfect. And we are going to get out and load this up. Parking brake is on. We'll get rid of that, put it in neutral. And in order to load, we have to come over here. And there's a box. It's along this line. So we see that a train is in range. That's our train. It's detected it, and we have to load. And I use the mouse button for this, and I can never remember if it's up or down. I think I'm going to hit up. I was wrong. I was wrong. It's down. Load is down. So, okay, train in range. Load. And now those are getting cars. Boom. Perfect. So we have loaded that. And now we have to take them over to C50 and uncouple them. Alright, so we completed it. Bonus time 64 minutes. Did we actually get bonus time? We got bonus time. We actually still completed it. So they do give you a lot of time at this level where I'm not playing at a very difficult level. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that. There we go. So that is my first video in Derail Valley Simulator. I hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Let me know if you want to see other videos in this game in the future. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Consider hitting subscribe and hitting the notification bell so you can see all my videos. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.
Sex, drugs, cocaine.